Hey guys, welcome back to the Simply Nice YouTube channel. Today we got here for us the Columbia River Knife and Tool Ripsnort. Pretty cool looking. Definitely a big cleaver. It's got a nice deep carry pocket clip. It's pretty substantial. Definitely a heavy knife. It's thick as well. Let's do a little size comparison. Haven't done one of these in a while. Got the Rat 2 next to it. So you can see it's definitely bigger than that. And then we recently acquired this full-size Benchmade Griptilian. It's a similar size to the Griptilian. Griptilian looks like it's just probably a little bit longer. Anyways, I digress. So this is about like a 3 1/4 inch blade. It's got a nice little stainless steel insert there. Yeah, here's the lockup. It's pretty far on up. And then closing this guy, well, you can flick them out pretty well. It's definitely kind of like a lazy flipper, you know? Super easy to fail. So that's unfortunate. And when you're closing it, the detent path is like right here. So you need to get it past here before you can shake it shut. So I've definitely messed up a few times where I'm like trying to close it and it hits my finger and then I want to shake it shut and it just doesn't really work. So you got to make sure to do that. But so this is, it's going to be a pretty quick review. Basically, it's just a beast of a cleaver, 8 CR13 MOV blade steel. Pretty thick blade stock. It's got a swedge on top, but you can see maybe. Well, it's pretty thick. And then let's see if we can see the, no, it's not really focusing right now, but centering is pretty abysmal. You can see that it looks like it's more ground on one side. You can kind of move it around a little bit. Sure, you could just tighten the pivot screw. But I did not. See, there it is. It doesn't, seem like it has the greatest action ever. I think that this knife is not really to be like a super fun fidget knife or anything like that, because it doesn't really win in any fidget factors, because the action's not the greatest. The deployment is pretty lazy, not like super fast flinging out. But what this knife does win in is just being a freaking chunk of steel. Has no blade play, which is nice. And, the steel isn't the most desirable, but does its job. It's a flat grind. So I feel like that'll give it a substantial amount of force that you can apply to it. In terms of ergonomics, there's no jimping pretty much anywhere on the knife. I would say that all these edges, are pretty sharp and not exactly comfortable in your hand, except for maybe like right here. But the edges are not that comfortable, especially right here. No jimping here, but it's not too bad actually. Sometimes jimping down there is really annoying, and I'd rather have it just be a slightly sharper edge. But I was showing this knife amongst others to my brothers, and both of my brothers said that this one was their favorite knife. They just love the look of the cleaver. So style-wise, this is a big winner. Maybe not the best ergonomically or the best fidget factor, but it's got a nice look to it, and seems as if it would be a very effective blade. And it's not like it's completely, a loser in the categories of ergonomics and fidget. it's just, yeah. I think definitely could use some rounding around these edges. That's not my favorite. I think this knife will cost you around like $35 on Amazon. For me personally, this is not my favorite knife that I've reviewed. I think it's a cool big chunk of steel, and some other people, this is definitely their type of knife. Just for me, this is not really something that I tend to like. Something that's more along my lines, just a little bit smaller, got really good action, would be this Civivi Elementum. Definitely more fun to fidget with, easy to hold. This is also pretty heavy. Let me show you how it rides in the pocket though. Rides pretty well. For such a big hulk of a knife, you know, you have hardly anything sticking up. So that's pretty good. And the pocket clip, although it's, you know, only tip down carry, this little lip doesn't bear into your hand really too bad. So it's actually not bad at all. I just don't think it necessarily looks great, but it's functional. So kind of overall opinions of this knife. Well, I think it can definitely do better in ergonomics. That's probably the biggest thing it needs to improve on, or like could improve on. Not needs to. I don't think they're gonna do a second version, but if they did, that would be what they should do. Just the action itself is not great. Design's nice. I don't think I said this, but it's by Booth Design. So I like the design. Pocket clip is nice and functional, just not my favorite design for that. But the look of it, knife itself, big cleaver, would be functional. And it's definitely like one of the best examples of a cleaver that I've seen on a knife. So anyways, guys, that's the review for the CRKT Ripsnort. Hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Peace.